How's it going, everybody? I'm the big guy. Welcome to Wrestling Made Simple. We got your news of the week, followed by your Smackdown and Raw reviews. And that'll be followed by a New Year's Revolution review. That's right, we are going into day one territory, so I figured it's time to break out the New Year's Revolution. We will be going with the first one, 2006. And then, of course, we will have your drink of the week, followed by your reading from the Book of Rules. And then, finally, we will go into your Battle Droid of the week. We got a good one for you this week. But let's go into the news this week. Congratulations to Mick Foley, who is the most requested superstar on Cameo. They have said it is the most booked person on Cameo. His Hardcore Legends Cameo costs $149. That's pretty amazing for Mick Foley. Bravo to him. He has been more booked than The Undertaker than by a lot of other people. So bravo to Mick Foley. Also a controversial angle from an independent show a couple nights ago. Carlito faced Blood Hunter, also known as Hannibal. And Hannibal apparently went into business for himself, attacking the referee, attacking Carlito, and hurting a lot of people. So, apparently this guy will be blacklisted from what I hear. He will no longer be really allowed to wrestle in most companies. I'm sure someone might take a chance on him, I don't know. Anyway, that was your second story, and finally, of course, very sad news for Jeff Hardy, as he has been released from WWE after his house show debacle, I will call it. He was apparently incoherent, having a terrible time of it. If you watch the video, you can watch the video. It's just hard to go into because I'm a big Jeff Hardy fan and I want him to do well and I want him to be as good as he can be, and that's hard for him when he's having these issues. So, I hope he gets what he needs. He has been released after refusing to go to rehab for WWE. Apparently, Matt Hardy today has said that WWE may have pulled the trigger a little too soon. Jeff Hardy is doing well, and he should be fine. And he does not need rehab. It was an isolated incident. Again, hopefully he's okay. And hopefully this just leads to him having a great independent career for right now. Maybe one day return for the Hall of Fame. I was hoping he would win the Royal Rumble and go on to have a feud with Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal Championship. Talk was he might have had that at the Royal Rumble or at Fastlane or Elimination Chamber, maybe a Saudi Arabia pay-per-view, but it looks like we will not be getting that unless he re-signs with WWE and proves that he is in good headspace. Again, I just wish Jeff Hardy the best of luck and I hope he's okay. Now let's go into your Smackdown review for this week. Smackdown kicked off with Sami Zayn coming out in a wheelchair, a neck brace, and an ankle boot, saying he is okay, after saying he's basically got the shit kicked out of him by Brock Lesnar, and that this is bullshit that he has to even come out here. Brock Lesnar then came out and said, basically was like, you don't need this, you're fine, why don't we go to my place, we'll go fishing, we'll go hunting. And then he basically went, I'm a vegan, Brock, I can't do this, but I'll go hang out with you. And as they're rolling away, Paul Heyman came out and said, wow, what the fuck's going on? I must have been smoking. He actually said this line in a quote, he goes, I must have spent too much time at the dispensary and the elbows are kicking in. This is bullshit. Whatever happened to Brock Lesnar, the former Universal Heavyweight Champion, and maybe in some time future, WWE Heavyweight Universal. And then he picks up the male nurses who were accompanying Sammy, beats the shit out of them, takes one to Suplex City, and F5s Sami Zayn, which was very hilarious. It was very cool to see. I really did enjoy him beating the shit out of Sami Zayn for a few. And then we went backstage and he basically talked to Adam Pearce saying, like, hey, you suspending me was the best thing that could have happened to me. I was able to get a really cool moose. I was able to go hunting. I enjoyed it. And then he got interviewed by Caleb Braxton. She said, "Do you have anything to say about tonight?" And he goes, "Why don't you ask my advocate, Paul Heyman?" I guess we're still doing the storyline of Brock Lesnar is trying to steal Paul Heyman from Roman Reigns. I don't know. After this, we got a tag team match with Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs versus Los Lotharios in a tag team match, Angel and Humberto. Shinsuke and Rick Boogs would pick up the win, and it would actually be a good little match. I'm not really a fan of tag team matches, but they put on a good one. After this, King Xavier revealed his new crown backstage, and it is a huge crown. It actually looks very cool. It looks like one that I would actually get. I would enjoy to have it. So, very fun little crown there. I enjoyed the segment of them all being like, "Oh yeah, he's got a new crown. He's really the king again." They all started cheering for King Woods, and it would lead to tonight's main event of who's the best tag team in WWE, The New Day, The Usos, or RK Bro. After this, we got Sasha Banks giving advice to Toni Storm of how Toni Storm's match with Charlotte Flair late in the night, basically saying, "Hey, you can't let your emotions get the best of you. That's how I've beaten her at times, is I've kept my emotions in check. But there are times when she'll say some shit that will get you in check." So, you gotta be smart with Charlotte Flair. After this, we got Caleb Braxton once again sneaking up on Paul Heyman, asking if he is the advocate for Brock Lesnar. And Roman Reigns requested her not to ask that. Kayla then asks what happens when Roman Reigns finds out about what happens tonight, and he just looked in the camera very, very scared, I will say. And I don't know what's going on, if he is now the advocate for Brock Lesnar. I don't believe he is. I believe he'll still be the advocate for Roman Reigns. But there's some shit going on that definitely is happening backstage of, oh, this might be the final turn at WrestleMania, of Paul Heyman turning on Roman Reigns for Brock Lesnar. And then we don't see Paul Heyman with Roman Reigns again. I don't know. After this, we got a match between Natalya and Sonya Deville, or Naomi and Sonya Deville, where before the match, Sonya Deville will announce that the in-ring special announcer will be Natalya, and the timekeeper will be Shayna Baszler. Why can't I never say her name right when I'm talking about Sonya Deville? I don't know. It's Shayna and Sonya just sound so similar to me in so many ways that I guess my brain just can't comprehend it. So before the match, the heels would actually attack Naomi. And Naomi would try to fight them off, but then out comes the protector, Xia Li. Xia Li makes her SmackDown debut with lightning coming out of her. I don't know if it was stupid or cool. I'm still trying to decide. You guys be the decider. Was it stupid or cool with Xia Li's lightning? Let me know in the comments down below. They would fight off the heels, hold the ring. Sonya Deville would get the shit kicked out of her in the ring. And the heels would pull her out to make the save. So Naomi and Xia Li stand tall in the ring. After this, we got a SmackDown Women's Championship match between Toni Storm and SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. It would be a good match. These two would have some in-ring chemistry, and I'm excited to see where they go in the future with it. I could see maybe Toni Storm being a kind of a little placeholder for Sasha Banks. If they don't do the Trish Stratus feud, then Sasha Banks is going to take the title off of Charlotte Flair, and she's going to have a feud with Bayley at WrestleMania when Bayley comes back at the Royal Rumble. My opinion. Anyway, Toni Storm would put up a good fight, but Charlotte Flair would get herself intentionally just DQ'd, ignoring the ref's count of 5 to stop the attack in the corner. She would get herself DQ'd and continue the attack on Toni Storm, walking out as the champion, even though Toni Storm did win the match by DQ. We then got a three-way tag team match, a triple threat match. The New Day versus the SmackDown Tag Team Champions Usos and the Raw Tag Team Champions RK Bro to find out who is the best tag team in WWE, and if not, to make your champions look weak. The New Day won, beating both the Usos and RK Bro. I'm guessing that was a way to make the New Day look strong going into the Day 1 pay-per-view where they will face the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, but it just didn't feel right for RK Bro to have to lose this match, in my opinion. Good match, but weird endings on this week's SmackDown. Weird endings. That was the conclusion I got from it. It was a good SmackDown, but damn it, did the endings make me go, huh, they didn't need to do that. And that was your SmackDown review, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to your Raw review for last night's Raw. Bobby Lashley and MVP kicked it off with saying that Bobby Lashley should be added to the WWE Championship match at Day 1. Kevin Owens came out saying he had to fight for his chance to get in. And even though he doesn't like Seth Rollins, he'll give Seth Rollins credit that he fought as well to get into the championship match. And Seth Rollins actually came out and said, I actually agree. Bobby Lashley shouldn't be added to this match. It seemed like they were going to work together for a second, but then they weren't. Big E then said, I'm fine with taking on all challengers. Bob, if you want in this match, I've already beaten you in this steel cage. So let's do this. And then we got Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville came out and said, all right, if you want to be added to this match, Bobby Lashley, you will be added to this match if you can basically have a gauntlet-style match tonight in which you will face Big E, Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins. Starting off with Kevin Owens early in the night, then halfway through the night you will face Seth Rollins, then in the main event you will face WWE Champion Big E. And MVP basically came out and said that they accept, there's no way that we won't accept a chance for a WWE Championship. After this, we then got Otis versus Riddle in a singles match. Otis, after last week, attacking Matt Riddle after the RK Brodament. The tournament finals have been delayed for 2 weeks due to injury. They haven't said who it is yet, who will be why there's been an injury or what's going on, but there is an injury and we will have to wait for the finals. Otis would defeat Riddle in a very good match, and I'm very happy for Otis. I really like that Otis had a good match here. He's one of my favorite wrestlers on the main roster, and I'm very happy that he had a great match here. Otis would then pick up the win, and Randy Orton would hit the RKO on Chad Gable. Then Otis would take out Orton and Riddle and would pull Chad Gable out, cementing himself as, hey, I'm the big powerhouse. You guys can't beat me here. I'm the one who's going to walk away from all this a champion one day. After this, we got a shout out to Gable Stevenson, who was in the roster at ringside holding up his gold medal for maybe the new WWE superstar, who's supposed to make his match debut at WrestleMania, so we'll see what happens there. After this, we got the first match of the Gauntlet with Bobby Lashley versus Kevin Owens. Bobby Lashley would defeat Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens would tap out very quickly to the Hurt Lock. Basically, before he could even lock it in, Kevin Owens would say later backstage the reason that he tapped out was because he needs to be ready and he can't have any damage at Day 1. It was then announced that Seth Rollins would be next for Bobby Lashley. We then got Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch talking about how she destroyed Liv backstage. She ripped on the fans for turning on her. Liv came out and basically said the only reason that people doubt her is because Becky Lynch doubts her. And she called her out for cheating last week. Liv then challenged for a title match at Day 1, and Becky said she will have it and attacked Liv's arm, smashing it in the steel steps. Liv would be okay, and Becky